Hi folks, this is Mark at Outback Motortech. We were just demonstrating one of our little ESBIT stoves here. You can see she's been cooking for about 3 minutes. I use 2 tabs in there. It's about 60 degrees, no, not even, it's about 50 degrees. It's been raining, it's misty, kind of wet. Kind of the typical day that you'd probably break down and need a hot brew. Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, she's getting there. The idea behind our equipment selection is that this stuff is for bailout purposes. It's not for camping long-term camping solutions. Definitely want a hot brew if you're cold and wet, and maybe you're waiting for somebody to pick you up, or you're out there overnight. This little stove really rocks, and of course you can see with the 2 tabs in there, you get a little bit bigger flame. They recommend 1, but I know from using this stove before that 2 is better than 1. So it's been about 3, almost going on 4 minutes here to brew up a couple of cups of water. I think that's about 2 cups in there. Definitely enough for a nice cup of tea, some instant soup, or you boil them back to back and use them in a survival food pouch to warm that up. And the stove weighs nearly nothing. It takes up a little bit of room. So we really like this compact version. There's another stove from ESBIT. It's a folding square block stove is what I call it. They actually have a number. I don't remember what it is. And I have a YouTube clip showing these stoves on a side-to-side comparison. That other stove is a little faster. I'm not sure exactly why, because hey, I'm not a physics professor, but it does cook a little quicker than this little complete set. But the other stove doesn't have a cup and stove setup, so you'd still have to bring a metal cup of some sorts to do your cooking. And that is starting to steam now at 5 minutes. So you would need to bring a cup, so you're really not really saving any weight or any space by using either one. Like I said, this one simply is a little bit more convenient because it sets inside of each other, and you pack a little bit of something inside. I usually carry some sugar, 2 tea bags, and some like instant miso soup inside the chamber with the stove, and the fuel separate so it doesn't contaminate your food. And that usually suffices for even a quick stop somewhere and have something hot to drink. It gets kind of cold in the mountains out here. So it looks like we're going on almost 6 minutes. That's a pretty good brew time. We're not at a high elevation here, maybe 1,500 feet up in the mountains. Blue Ridge, at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains is where we live. And we'll give you a view inside, how much fuel is burned off. A couple of tabs there. And we'll do a little check at 6 minutes now. That's getting pretty much ready to rock. I'm going to let it go to a full boil. I bet you it hits about 7.5 minutes for a full boil. And I'm not sure what the timer is not on this video. I can't read the timer on this video, but I think we're at 3 or 4 minutes I've been talking to you. So once again, we want to reiterate that our product selection for survival gear is not based on long-term camping solutions. This is definitely, I flatted out, don't have a fix, waiting for the tow truck to come in. I'm freezing, wet and cold, and you definitely need something hot. Or you're overnighting it just because you ran out of steam, and you got this stuff with you, so it's not hard to throw up a a tarp. You got your bivy bag, you could get a couple hours sleep, some warm soup in you, and then continue on. Hitting 7. Just coming up to boil. The whole saying, watch pots never boil. Well, that's kind of where we're at with this one. I said 7.5. Still got a few seconds before she boils. The other thing I've done is, you can see all the vents. Those little vents at the top, I don't think are really necessary in this model. I've used a piece of tin foil and wrapped it around it, and that directs more heat up through the bottom of the pot. It speeds it up a little bit, so that's just a preference. I wanted to do this demo pretty much as is, without any modifications. So again, say about 50 degrees out here. It's not windy today, fortunately. Definitely damp. Just rolled over 8 minutes on the clock. I'll move that away from the stove. It's getting a little warm. And I can begin just barely hear the stove starting to cook. Oh, hitting 8.5 minutes. Nice thing about this stuff too is you can see how much fuel's left. So one brew pretty much eats up the fuel tab, so you might chuck away a little bit, but you don't really want to carry those tabs with you after they've been burned. They're pretty much organic in the sense that you know, it's a alcohol fuel base. So you know, I'm gonna dig a little hole next to the stove and dump the excess fuel tabs in there. It's not going to really hurt anything. And not in its quantity. You got barely maybe a couple of grams. And I'm going to check that one more time. There you go. Probably boiled a little bit before I took the lid off. Well, that's it. That's the ESBIT pocket stove. We really like this product and we highly recommend it.